Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome onto my channel today, and it gives me great joy to observe you are viewing this video. I am Dr. Olayinka Konle. I am a sociologist, I'm a researcher, I'm a public speaker, I'm a relationship manager. On this channel, I do a number of stuff. But all the stuff that I do on this channel, you can easily cluster them into four: sociology, research, relationship, and migration. So you're welcome to my channel. Meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to this video, to this channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe. Tap the subscribe button on your screen, click the subscribe button on your screen, and subscribe to the channel. If you have subscribed previously, thank you very much for staying tuned. This video today is within the context of a relationship. How to know when people are not compatible in a relationship. When to know when people are not compatible in a relationship. Maybe you are in a relationship, you're wondering, are you compatible? Or you know somebody in a relationship, you're wondering whether they're compatible. Or you are a counselor, or you just want to know for knowledge's sake. How do you know when people are in a relationship that is not compatible? Well, this is a very important question because most times people wonder if they are compatible, or I'm in a relationship, am I compatible in this relationship? You have to know compatibility in a relationship does not guarantee success. It's not a magic wand to guarantee success. And compatibility does not mean that there will be no issues in those relationships. But it simply means when people are compatible, they tend to have greater success, they tend to have greater sense of fulfillment, they tend to have greater sense of achievement, the relationship tend to last and be functional, and they tend to have strong mental health. They tend to have success or a higher degree of productivity and happiness, and even longevity. People that are compatible in relationship tend to live longer. So while compatibility does not mean success is guaranteed, but it simply means sometimes it can hate compatibility, can hate success and guarantee a better future. Then what is compatibility? Compatibility does not mean sameness. Compatibility does not mean you are the same with the individual. It simply means you are complementary, that you complement each other, and compatibility means you can coexist, you can cohabit, you have the capacity to live together successfully. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that you are the same. If you are the same, actually, it's a problem because variety is the spice of life. You have to be different from the person you are dating or you are married to, or that you are in a relationship with. You have to be different. If you are two the same, it's a problem. But it simply means even though you are different, you are able. You have on different economic background, you have on different background, ethnic, religious, even different class. But it simply means that you have the capacity to complement each other. You have the capacity to cohabit, to coexist. That's what it means without stress. It means that you are able to be together. So, but that's what it means. Now, how do you know? I've told you what compatibility means. I've told you what compatibility is not. I've told you why compatibility is important. I've told you why incompatibility is a problem. So now let's see, how do you know when people are actually in a relationship where they're not compatible? Or how do you know if you are in a relationship where you are not compatible? Because it's dangerous. Number one is that you do not have mutual understanding of each other. You seem to have misunderstanding most times. You argue about everything. You don't share mutual understanding of each other, even situations. It's very difficult for you to have mutual understanding of a situation. It may be a sign that you're not compatible. You don't share mutual understanding easily. Then, another thing is that you are too different from each other. Too different. I said compatibility does not mean you are the same. You tend to have differences. You are not the same. After all, You may even be different by gender. You can even be different by ethnic background. You can even be different from educational qualification. You might even be different by complexion or color of your skin. But the difference should not be too wide in all respect. There's some respect you have to be identical. Could be in your orientation, could be in something. But when you are too different that you cannot zinc, it's a problem. There should be a point of convergence. Even though you have your points of divergence, there should be a point of convergence in your things, in the things you do. So when you do not share mutual understanding on most things, you are too different in too many things, to the extent that you cannot agree, you cannot zinc, you cannot synchronize your chart, your worldview. It's a problem. You are always having prolonged and frequent conflict. Me sure. David and I are sociologists. We believe in sociology that conflict is a normal part of society. We even believe that there's a conflict perspective that believe when you have a society or relationship without conflict, that relationship is dysfunctional. Somebody is deceiving somebody. Somebody is scamming somebody. So conflict is an inherent component of relationships. However, here sociologists, when conflicts become too prolonged, when conflicts become too frequent, it will lead to crisis, and crisis will break relationships and destroy societies. So too frequent, too prolonged that you don't settle your conflict quickly is dangerous. So when you are in a relationship where you are always conflicting, you are always finding it difficult to settle your conflicts within a very short time, it becomes a problem. My own rule of thumb is that if you are in a relationship, if you have conflict today, the conflict must not last till tomorrow. Don't keep malice in your relationship. Don't keep malice in your relationship. If I have conflict with my wife, for example, or even my children or my colleagues, I try as much as possible to settle it right on the spot before the next day. Because the more prolonged conflicts are, the more likely they will damage that relationship. So when you have too prolonged conflict, too frequent conflict may be a sign of incompatibility. And again, another point is if you are not growing together, you should share the same orientation to the extent that you are growing together. You are embracing change together. Change is the only constant thing in relationship and in life. You should embrace change together. If you don't change, you're going to melt away. So your relationship must continue to evolve. You and your spouse or the person you are in relationship with must continue to evolve and grow together. No one should be left behind. Neither of the two people or even the parties should be left behind. You have to grow. So when you cannot grow together, when you cannot embrace change together, it's a problem. You should not be too conservative and too rigid. So drag each other along. If it becomes too difficult for you to change together, to grow together, to embrace change together, definitely it's a red flag you're not compatible. Then when you are not learning together, to learn together behaviorally, economically, in all respects, this is only when your relationship will grow and succeed. You must learn together. Don't say, oh, you are old school. I'm going this way. I learned this software. I learned this financial management. I get this degree. You have to learn together. So you evolve together. It's very important. How do you know again when people are in relationships where they are not compatible, when there is abuse and violence? Oh, this is very serious. Are you in any abusive relationship? One is always kicking, eating each other. Abuse can be physical, it can be emotional. When you talk to somebody anyhow, it can be sexual, you deny the other party of sex. It can be physical. All manners of abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. When you're in a relationship, when there's abuse and violence, it can take your life. So that shows you are not compatible. If you are compatible in a relationship, there will be no violence, there will be no abuse. You'll be able to settle your differences as easily, as quickly as possible. When people are in abusive relationship, violent relationship, they are not compatible. Take it from me. And another thing is that when people are always agreeing together, you are always, anything A says, B says, fine, I agree. Everything is, I agree, I concur. They are not compatible. That should be a little, you should be able to do. You are not robots. People are not robots in relationship. They are not robots. So When people agree all the time on same issue, flag it. It could be that they're not compatible. Maybe one has been bullied into submission. One has been silenced. His or her sense of creativity, dynamism have been silenced over the years. They're not compatible. When you're compatible, there should be disagreements and differences in your opinions before you find a common ground. It's very important. When you are isolated, when people are isolated or are kept in secret, you don't relate with others, nobody knows about your relationship, the other party is hiding the other party, you don't go clubbing together, you don't go holidaying together, you don't go out together, you don't go sightseeing together, you don't go to religious centers together, people don't know you together. One is hiding the other, or the relationship is being hidden from the significant others in society. That means there's a problem with compatibility. When people are compatible, they flaunt their relationship. They flaunt it, yeah. People know about it. You flaunt your partner, you flaunt your spouse, you flaunt your date. So when there's no open display of the relationship, there might be signs of incompatibility. And again, when there's poor romance, there's no romance, no hugging, no pecking. If you're in legitimate relationship, socially sanctioned relationship, no sex, dry sex life, may be signs of incompatibility. So people that are in compatible relationship, they enjoy romance together, they hold hands, they peck, they kiss, they do all manners of ways they can show romance. They have quality sex. When there is no sex among adults that are supposed to be having sex, then that shows there might be a problem with incompatibility. When they are not attracted to each other, another problem. You don't see your spouse or your date and you feel attracted. Wow, this is my partner, this is my husband, this is my wife. They're not attracted. Definitely, there's incompatibility. I'm not sure talking about handsomeness, beauty, or any other thing. No, that's not what I'm saying. But even behaviorally, in many respects, just feel happy that this is your date, this is somebody you are relating with. Not only about physical attraction, but even dressing in all ways. You should be attracted to the person you are relating with. When there's no attraction, it shows there's no relationship that is compatible. And then when you're not enjoying each other's company, there's lack of enjoyment. You prefer the other party not to be at home. You prefer the other party not to be around. You just want to be on your own. You're not enjoying each other's company. You're not looking forward to the other party coming around. Then there's incompatibility. You should be looking forward to the next meeting. You should be looking forward to the presence of that individual. I've heard people who say once their partner is around, they're not happy. They prefer the individual to go away. They prefer them out of home than at home because they don't enjoy each other's company. That shows there's incompatibility. If you are compatible, you always welcome and enjoy each other's company. Another sign is unfaithfulness, infidelity. When people are not faithful in relationship, it's a sign of incompatibility and should be handled quickly. Otherwise, it will lead to crisis, the relationship will break, it can even lead to gender-based violence or abuse. So infidelity and unfaithfulness. And this will happen because when there's no romance, no functional sexual life, quality sex is missing, then it may lead to infidelity. You don't enjoy the company of the individual, it may lead to infidelity and unfaithfulness. And this can lead to collapse of the relationship and gender-based violence or intra-partner violence, IPV, like we call it, or GBV, gender-based violence. Now, lastly, when there is no passion to make the relationship work, you're just tired of it, you just don't care, no passion to make it work, you are tired of the relationship, that means you're not compatible. People that are compatible and going somewhere together always look forward to how to make it work. They struggle, they sacrifice to make the relationship work. Well, all this said, know fully well that it is better to be out of a relationship that is functional, dysfunctional relationship, violent relationship, incompatible relationship. It's better to be out of those than to die in them, because the individual will not fulfill his life and aspiration and ambition. So it's better to be out of incompatible or dysfunctional relationship, non-functional relationship, than to die in it. It's better to be out of incompatible relationship than to be in a relationship where you die there and you don't fulfill your destiny. Until I see you in my next video, subscribe to the channel and tell others. Bye for now.